The injured dog lay on the sidewalk as people walked past him without stopping. Some noticed the blood on his fur. Others saw the way his back leg dragged when he tried to move. No one slowed down long enough to help. They stepped around him, avoided eye contact, and kept going. The dog didn't cry out. He stayed still, breathing shallow, eyes open but unfocused. Every passing footstep raised hope for a second, then disappeared. Time worked against him. If help didn't come soon, the outcome was obvious. He wouldn't survive the night. Then one stranger stopped, not because they were trained, not because they were told to. They stopped because they couldn't keep walking away. That single decision would change the dog's fate and reveal something most people have forgotten on that street. The stranger didn't rush toward the dog. They slowed first, as if afraid a sudden movement might make things worse. From a few steps away, they crouched down and watched the dog's chest rise and fall. It was uneven, too slow, too shallow. People passed behind them. Someone sighed loudly, annoyed that the sidewalk was blocked. Another person muttered something about being late. The stranger didn't turn around. They reached out a hand, stopping just short of touching the dog. "Hey," they said quietly. The word wasn't meant to wake him. It was meant to let him know he wasn't alone. The dog's eyes shifted, just slightly, enough to prove he was still there. That was when the stranger saw how bad it really was. The back leg wasn't just injured, it was swollen, stiff, and clearly unusable. The fur around it was dark with dried blood. Whatever had happened hadn't happened recently. This dog had been hurting for a long time. The stranger checked for a collar. There wasn't one. They pulled out a phone and dialed a local animal rescue. The call went to voicemail. They tried another number, then another. No answer. It was late afternoon. Offices were closing. Time kept moving. The stranger exhaled slowly and made a decision. They slipped off their jacket and gently placed it over the dog's body, leaving his head uncovered. It wasn't much, but it blocked the wind and gave him something soft to lie on. When the stranger touched him for the first time, the dog flinched, not from aggression, from pain. "I know," the stranger whispered. They flagged down a passing car and asked for help. The driver shook their head and drove off. A second car slowed, then sped up. Finally, a woman stopped. She rolled down her window and listened. She didn't argue. She unlocked the trunk. Together, they lifted the dog as carefully as they could. He was lighter than expected, too light. As the car pulled away from the sidewalk, the dog let out a small sound, not a bark, not a cry, something softer, something tired. For the first time that day, he was going somewhere. The emergency clinic smelled like disinfectant and urgency. A vet tech rushed forward the moment the door opened. The dog was placed on a table. Hands moved quickly. Voices stayed calm. The stranger stood back, heart pounding, jacket still missing, hands shaking. The vet examined the leg first, then the ribs, then the gums. The expression on their face didn't change, but the silence lasted too long. "He's been hit," the vet finally said, "probably by a car, and he's been out there for hours." They explained the risks: internal bleeding, infection, shock. Nothing was guaranteed. Surgery would be expensive. Recovery would take time. The stranger didn't hesitate. They signed the papers without asking how much it would cost. They didn't ask how long it would take. They only asked one thing: "Can you help him?" The surgery lasted hours. The stranger waited in a plastic chair, staring at the floor, replaying the image of people stepping around the dog, thinking about how close it had been, thinking about what would have happened if they had walked past two. Late that night, the vet came out. "He made it," they said. "He's stable." But the next few days are critical. The stranger finally breathed. They visited every day after that. The dog was quiet first, weak, confused, but each day, his eyes stayed open a little longer. His tail moved once, then twice. He learned the sound of the stranger's voice. The vet said it mattered, that animals remembered who stayed. Recovery wasn't quick. The dog had to relearn how to stand, how to trust his body again, how to trust people. The stranger showed up even on days when progress felt invisible. They brought treats. They sat on the floor. They talked about nothing important. The dog listened. Weeks passed. The bandages came off. The leg healed slowly, but it healed. One afternoon, the dog stood on his own for the first time. It wasn't steady. It wasn't graceful, but it was real. The staff clapped quietly. When it came time to discuss what happened next, the stranger already knew the answer. They took the dog home. The house wasn't big. It didn't need to be. The dog explored every corner, like it was new territory. He slept deeply for the first time. He ate without fear. He learned what safety felt like. The stranger named him Chance. Months later, Chance walked past that same sidewalk. His leg still carried a scar, but it worked. His head was up. His eyes were bright. No one recognized him. That was the point. Most people never knew how close they had been to changing everything. How one pause could have mattered. How one decision could have saved a life. One stranger made that decision. And because of it, a dog who was ignored didn't disappear quietly. He lived. Sometimes that's all it takes.